Okay, no? Getting the voice? Okay, right. అయ్యో పాపం వీళ్ళు ఆన్లైన్లో కాస్త రిమైండ్ చేశారు కానీ చూడాల.
ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈజ్ ఓకే అని పెట్టాను. మళ్ళీ అదే వాళ్ళకి అది హ్యాపీ వీడియో పోయిందని. మరి ఆమెకు చాలా హ్యాపీ.
పాపం వచ్చి
రెడ్ ఇలా వేసుకుని
పాపం వచ్చింది కదా సార్.
వచ్చిందంటే బలవంతంగా వచ్చింది. ఏడో ఫోన్ చేసుకున్న వాళ్ళు రామసక్క చదువుతున్నారు అనుకున్నాం.
నేను ఇప్పుడు గ్రూప్ 2 ఉంది కదా, ఇక టార్గెట్ ఉందా గ్రూప్ 2? గ్రూప్ 4 లాంటివి వచ్చినాయి. గ్రూప్ బాగానే రాశారు కదా. రిజల్ట్ ఎప్పుడు వస్తుంది గ్రూప్ 3? తెలీదా ఇప్పుడు? డేట్స్ ఏం లేవు. అదని కాదు, ఇఫ్ యూ లుక్ ఎట్ ద ఎంటైర్ పేపర్, ఎస్పెషలీ యూపీఎస్సి, ఈవెన్ మొన్న ఇవి కూడా, ఇట్స్ ఎ కరెంట్ అఫైర్స్ బేస్డ్. ఇఫ్ యూ అబ్జర్వ్ ప్రాపర్లీ ద న్యూస్ పేపర్, మ్యాగజైన్స్, రెండు చాలు, ఇంకా మీకు ఎక్కువ అవసరంలా. జస్ట్ 2 న్యూస్ పేపర్స్, ఐదర్ హిందూ ఆర్ ఇండియన్ ఎక్స్ప్రెస్, ఏదో ఒకటి మీరు చదువుతాను. ఓకే, లేదు ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఇన్ ఆల్ టైమ్స్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా. ఓకే, అండ్ last 6 months before the exam, 90% of questions are generated from those newspapers, whether it is geography, whether it is history, right? Also, okay, it's but natural direct current affairs or polity questions, economy questions. We are habituated, okay, these are the current issues, but others also, and science and tech complete. So finally is the current center finally, right? So you have to focus. అందువల్ల మనకు ఆప్షన్ లేదు. You can't solely depend on the textbooks. No doubt, ఇప్పుడు NCERT and others, they will pave you the foundation. Okay, for the foundation, yes, very good, but for updates and everything, you have to, and to guess the questions, that has to be done. Okay, వాటిని చూసుకొని చాలు. Okay, in and around the questions arises all the way. Anyhow, we'll see that. Okay, the next week onwards, let us do our work focusing on this group 2, completely multiple choice questions. Of course, wherever required, if an urgency or important issue, we will discuss, but otherwise the questions and issues in and around, so the how best that you can do it on the part. So back to, so let me, because though some sort of disturbance occurred, has they came back online? ఓకేనా, వచ్చేసారు ఆన్లైన్లోకి? ఏదున్నా ఇందాక రమ్య ఇంకెవాళ్ళు వచ్చేసారు, శ్రీజ ఏదో ఫోన్ చేస్తుంది ఎస్ అనేసి. ఓకే, రైట్. ఓకే, ఓకే, రైట్. సో if any specific topic or areas, if you wish, also just inform me, so that we will focus on that as well. Okay, so complete group 2 focus వెళ్ళిపోదాం. Okay, next time all the things, of course, current affairs based, will go ahead. Now back to, as this Adani issue is very much, so this time the information we got it from where? From the US, not from India, isn't it? So the charges level against this Adani and brothers, when say this Adani and Sagar, the relative in a way, and 6 others, the group, the bribery charges as well as the fraud. what it is. Let us look into that. Then, when you use the word indicted, here the US prosecutors, when they say it's related to some sort of the stock market related activity at the time, so they identified certain deviations. Then, the moment they looked into those things, why these are happening, then identified those aspects and revealed to the world at large. When they use the word indicted, these are the charges we are leveling against you. Now it's a time for you to defend yourself. That means an opportunity was given to other person to defend. That's what just now I said, the rule of law. What's the rule of law? All are equal before the eyes of law. Equal protection is granted to all without any discrimination. So these words you will find where? In Indian Constitution. Which article? చెప్పమ్మా నీకు వస్తే గ్రూప్ 2 వచ్చినట్టే ఈ ఆర్టికల్ పేరు చెప్తే. Which article is stipulating all are equal before the law and equal protection is granted to all without any discrimination. Sure? Hmm? So Article 14 is mainly in the very our fundamental right starts when right to equality. The 14 itself, you go ahead, isn't it? And from which constitution we have taken this concept of rule of law? Again, maybe the polity question. ఎందుకంటే ఈ గ్రూప్ 2 ఉంది కానీ ఈ క్వశ్చన్స్ అన్ని రివైజ్ చేసుకోండి. రూల్ ఆఫ్ లా కాన్సెప్ట్ ఏ కంట్రీ నుంచి? 1935 Act, of course, it provided to some extent, but mainly from the British. Okay, the source is Britain, where you will find opposite of rule of law is administrative law, wherein you will find in France is very much that part is concerned. And one of the essence is that another article we stipulate Article 22, for example. What is Article 22? If any person arrested, right, the issues are there. The procedure for arrest is there. You can't arrest any person just like this. Okay, the first condition is what? The reason should be given, right? Then a time should be given to consult his or her advocate, okay, or counsel, or inform to relatives, then arrest. Why that procedure? Even if you look at Article 20, what is in Article 20? Protection given to the even the convicts, isn't it? No double jeopardy. You can't be punished twice for single offense. Ade kada? No retro effect. Today the law was made, from today only it will be, not a back date. No self incrimination. You cannot force to give evidence against yourself. Very much in the Indian Constitution. Why? There every possibility of misuse, abuse by authorities. Okay, because the power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Okay, the says. So every possibility of misuse, abuse, to protect the individual from arbitrary actions of the government, you have this rule of law. You have all these protections clearly mentioned in the Indian Constitution. Otherwise, in this era of social media, I am sure that, right, anybody can put any allegations against anybody. We don't know what is the truth, what is not the truth, right? But one thing is that you will be defamed, you will be insulted, you will be almost all trial by the media. Media trial, we called it. We don't know the truth or not, isn't it? So the judiciary, what it demands is an evidence for everything. To get that evidence, you have to investigate the issues. And before that any allegation was made, give an opportunity to other party to defend himself. Always. Because no, we have the concept that you are guilty or not guilty. Till when? Till proven. So till proven you are not guilty. అంతే కదా, నేరం రుజువయ్యేదాకా నువ్వు మంచోడివే. సింపుల్ చెప్పాలంటే అయితేనే కదా నువ్వు నిజంగా చేసావో లేదో ఇక ఫైనల్గా దేవుడికి తెలుసు అనాలి. బట్ ఎవిడెన్స్ ఫైనల్లీ హ్యాస్ టు బి పుట్ బిఫోర్ దాట్. సో అందువల్ల లైక్ అదర్స్ వీ కెనాట్ జస్ట్ గో అహెడ్. ఎస్, దిస్ ఇస్ ద ట్రూత్. So we have to be cautious otherwise. We can't say that you should not believe or you should not do anything else, but we need to be cautious. And this sort of things required a lot of investigation. But the thing now came from not from Indian enforcement authorities like ED. No, all these issues generally used to take care, which it has done regarding Arvind Kejriwal, okay, app the party or the Kavita. Within no time, just 100 million, 100 crores, right? Scam, and arrested almost 2 months, nearly 2 months they are behind bars. Okay, but now is the $250 million, so nearly 20 million, 20,000 million rupees in a way. Okay, so how the government is to address is the big question. But what is required is a thorough investigation is required in this one. Here the issue is of when is the bribery and the fraud. Two issues are there. Bribery is you are giving the money legally or illegally. Illegal. That means there's no need to give, but still you are giving. Okay, either to speed up. If the speed up, we justified ourselves. I'm not doing for illegal purposes. So that's what some use the word greasing. Okay, greasing is good. Okay, so corruption is good. Whoever support corruption, so they use the word greasing. What is greasing? ఇప్పుడు మనం గ్రీజ్ రాస్తూ ఉంటాం. ఇప్పుడు బర్బర్ అంటున్నాయి అనుకోండి డోర్స్కి వీటికి. వన్స్ యూ అప్లైడ్ ద ఆయిల్, రైట్, అండ్ ద గ్రీజింగ్ స్మూత్గా వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. సో లైక్ దిస్, వన్స్ యూ పే ద గవర్నమెంట్ సర్వెంట్ సమ్ మనీ, దెన్ ద స్మూత్లీ the file moves and things will be done within no time. So some they call the greased economy. That means highly corrupt. They use a very polished word. Whoever supports the system, and most of we the citizens, the normal citizen, the common man too, support on this cause. But if everything legal, okay, at least it can be justified on some grounds. But when you come to the illegal things which you are not supposed to be done, but you are influencing the other person with money, okay, that means other person actually not interested, but by tempting him, right, with monetary benefits, you are owing that person. Okay, so there you are influencing with the money. So the money, what are the other factor that influences? Okay, once you reverse the money, okay, that's what okay, general saying, no doubt like this they will design. So this is the corruption circle. None can move out from that. All the parties, right, in general they will find this wine, and again added masala is the woman. So money, okay, the wine and women, those plays a very crucial role in scams. Wherever you will find either of the three, or sometimes all the three, or any of the two, or only one may present. But without that there is no corruption, no bribery, no scam, isn't it? So how the other person can be wooed. That means they will identify the weakness of the other person. Then based on this, they will do that one. So here, that's what the all this bribery are the scams related. Anyway, look into that. For example, here the Adani group was alleged that in the solar energy contracts, is it in America and in India? The contracts are in India, they're talking about, right? They're allegedly, okay, the word always you have to keep in mind. Allegation only. It is not finally done to the Indian official. Who it means by official? Is it a government servant or the political boss? Political or MPs, MLAs, CMs, PMs? Hmm? If we in India use the word official, it implies the employees, maybe from clerk to officer level. But when American use the word official, that implies an authority who are having the authority to take the decision. For them, that includes the political representatives, your MPs, MLAs, ministers, CM, PMs, everybody. Okay, their designations are different. That which way you have to keep in mind all the time. Okay, so a lot of difference will be there. Here we call minister. Okay, the president, prime minister, other ministers, right? Ministers are there. In America, what they are called? You never heard the word minister. Hmm? Who are help now Joe Biden or coming up Trump president? Who will assist them? What they are called? ఏమంటారు వాళ్ళని? ఉంటారు కదా మనలాగా మినిస్టర్స్ అయితే వాళ్ళు. వాట్ దే ఆర్ కాల్డ్? సెక్రటరీస్. డిఫెన్స్ సెక్రటరీ, ఫారెన్ సెక్రటరీ. అంతే కదా. యూ నెవర్ యూజ్ ద వర్డ్. ఓకే, like the ministers. Anyhow, the system is different. Ours is the parliamentary, they should be the members of either house. There, they should not. If at all, they should resign. And the gap ఉంటుంది. So, whenever they use the word an official, that includes the political representatives. Okay, that's what the word you have to keep in mind. So, to buy solar power, again from whom? State-owned solar energy corporation. See, already it's a state-owned. Another state, that is the government itself, government to government contracts. What money? Is a big question mark, right? It's a government to government, not government to private. Then, if that be the case, the big question mark for us is, in what way Adani is involved? He's not in the government, right? If at all you are to indict the central government, or directly you may point out Modi or Amit Shah. Assume it, because they do play the crucial role, or some other ministers. Then why? Why this? That means there is some sort of a link between this Adani group and this SECI, right? Solar Energy Corporation of India. Solar Energy Corporation of India is a corporation which, right, monitor all the energy related activities in India, including the solar energy manufacture. That means both the private and publics comes under it. It will fix some price, do something, so that it is a regulating body, otherwise we called it. But they are also headed by officials. So from where they will get the power, or if we want it now, for example, Telangana state want the power and inform to the CCI, from where they will get? They will not generate on their own, right? They have to get it from somewhere. That means they will act some sort of a mediation role. That point, if you remember, everything will be resolved here. So almost all, that the project generation 2 billions in profits. Profits itself is that much. So once you are getting 2 billions of profit, giving, right? How much amount? 250 million. It's nothing, right? So 10%, 20%, right? And the thing is concerned. So that much amount is there. So it's all right. That's what in general we will make the things. So perhaps that's what the Andhra CM thought about. This what the US has given the statistics started from December, right? 10th, 2019 onwards. That is when the Jagan assumed office and everything, all this era of our Jaganji. And the part is concerned, they have given all the statistics. And not only Andhra Discom, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Tamil Nadu, and Jammu and Kashmir also. It's not one state, right? All the states were made us, and they have given very clearly how this be. See here, the wording is very clear. Adani Green and Azure receives SECI contract to supply 8 gigawatts and 4 gigawatt respectively in 2019. So now you understand with this what the role of SECI. Once you asked this government, so from where they will get, they will not generate on their own. No, already private parties are there. They will contact them. Arey Baba, we don't have, whether you will supply. Okay. So the state-owned regulatory authority will have a tie-ups with private. But unfortunately, in this issue, everything, all these contracts were tied up with only Adani Group. Whatever, of course, stated here. We don't know if any other private sector is very much there in the solar energy or not. Right now, the statistics are there. Even I can't say much about it. But definitely some private players are there. But whether they are able to supply that much or not is a big question mark. Okay, this there can be. So now that Adani is giving to SECI, SECI in turn giving to states. In between, state-owned group is there. As per, if at all, if you adhere to the rule of transparency, there no need for you to contact between the Andhra and Adani. No need for that, isn't it? You have the mediator. They will take care. We are least bothered about from whom we got, isn't it? But SECI will quote some sort of amount, this much you have to pay. We may or may not agree. But that private party, come what may you want. So he will try to influence the state government's decision. Anyhow, it's but natural the politicians, they'll making it as a business now. Entry into politics is a business, right? It is not a service industry no more. You want, they're spending and expecting returns. 1 rupee spending, 100 rupees expecting. That is unfortunate. Okay. This is what the political business. So everybody is after that. No one is taking directly the bribe from the ordinary person. Okay. That's the beauty of it. No one is taking, right? Rarely you will find directly taking by minister or somebody high-end officials. Maybe at the clerical level they may take. I don't think that high-end persons, or at least after this IAS, IPS cadres and above superintendent level, rarely they will take. But where they are getting the money? From all these kickbacks. For every contract, for every agreement signed, they have to pay that much. So people's money, right? Finally, the people had to pay that rather than the anything else. So it is nothing but what the law called is the breach of trust. And what breach of trust is? The criminal breach of trust. When the public money, you have to use it open. If not, otherwise, it is there. Now you are getting, that's what, no, now this Telangana also investigation is on why you purchase power from so and so at higher price, right? Still that investigation is going on. So when, for example, you will get the market say 5 rupees, why you pay 7 rupees to somebody, isn't it? Even 1 rupee extra, 6 rupees, why you are paying? Okay, no doubt, it's a public money. You are authorized to spend, and you have to spend it properly, isn't it? Accountability should be there. Ethical accountability should be there here. But here, what you are doing is, don't worry, 5 rupees, I'll give you now. Why you 6, 7, 8 rupees? I will give you. Give me back in the black money terms the remaining term. Right? This how it is coming back. Okay? Anything else. Even the issue here, it came out in America. Why? Adani Group said we are having so many contracts with something else. We have to do all this activity, gear up our thing, and we have to purchase this, that expansion. We want more money. So it's taking the money from the banks, loans, loans, okay, from the bank in the form of loans from America. Okay. So naturally, American banks are involved here. This is what they called it, no? The word once they used fraud. They made the fraud of the banks. What is the fraud? Cheating. Eh? Here, if I simply say this, no, where I have so many contracts. How you got the contract is not the business of the banks, isn't it? So they will only look at, yes, they will give it. We'll get so much of returns. Then based on the returns that the company is getting and the profits expected, they will give the loans because they have to get back their loans in a way. Those facts should be the facts. Facts should be the real. They should not be manipulated. Okay. Here, the word they used is misrepresentation. So they misrepresent the facts. As they misrepresent the facts, that is, they are not actually the facts, but all concorded. Okay. Nobody asked them, give me the power supply. They only said, Arey Baba, take this, and influence their decision. We'll give you more for this, saying yes. So they got the contract not through the legal means, but through the otherwise, the influenced. So it's a misrepresenting the facts. So considered as the fraud. One of the concept of fraud is that. Okay. Not that only somebody's signatures you sign. And that means here you obtain the consent, not is of free consent. That is by other means. For example, India, we have the 5 aspects. So number of times I used to say for you. One is by coercion, force. You are forcing somebody, say yes. Right? Either putting the knife on the neck or the pistol or kidnapping somebody. You may do that. Or undue influence, high end to low end. Your boss says you, so you have to. Your parents say so you have to. Like this. Or by this fraud. Or by mistake, misrepresentation, all these things. So these 5 areas always plays a crucial role. Whenever the court says yes, you have given the consent, why you have given the consent? If that is proved, you have given consent, that your consent is not free, it was obtained by either of the 5, then that agreement, that contract become void. It become invalid. Okay. So now, if that is even the fraud case proved, whatever the agreement will become invalid. So we have to wait and see what is going to be happen on this issue. Then apart from this, right, when he says fraudulent capital raising, the defendants are accused of raising funds from US investors under false pretense. Okay. That's what they use the word, right? Misrepresentation, way to hide the bribery scheme while securing billions of interest things. So even allegation that they obstructed the investigation into the bribery conspiracy. Even at one point, they thought of investigating. Then, even those investigators were tried to influence with the money. Don't investigate, right? Like our ED, CBI, if they do it. Yeah. So there also that happens. So with so many cases in hand, now how the Adani will come up clean is the big question mark. Okay. And is it possible to arrest Adani by US? First, is it US have any local standing on the issues? Because some social media platform on news, some are coming. Who are you? Right? We Indians. If at all our law will take care, we will investigate and we will do it. Why you? Isn't it? The issues arises also because it's a question of sovereignty, right? Who are you to interfere? Bribe has given, okay, to India, right? But again, American investors, American banks are involved here. And US policy is that when something is relating to them, definitely they will come up. So they are acting according to their law. Here, the two aspects you have to keep in mind. One is, if at all, assume Americans issued what you call arrest warrant against Adani, can Adani will be automatically handed over to America? What are the formalities required? Assume we are ready to hand over. Do we have a treaty called as, what is the treaty required? Extradition treaty. Do we have this extradition treaty? What do you mean by extradition treaty? Some person committed a crime here, taking shelter in other country, residing in another country. Now we have to get back. Our police will not go and arrest. So we have to give the representation that courts will look into, then officially hand over that person to our country. Only if we have this treaty. Okay. Now, best Vijay Mallya case, for example. Britain and India have extradition treaty. So we initiated. Still the process is on. Okay, 5 6 years is are more, right? It's going on. We don't know when that will finally done. Lalit Modi and all the cases, though we have treaty, till it is taking time. America too we have. So again our courts will look into that. Should be the same crime here, they will look into, then formally send, if at all everything become normal. Okay, right? That's one aspect. But this case, I'm just recollecting the Sacham computers. So once upon a time, it's a synonym for computer era, right? An empire. Why collapsed? Hmm? Again, this sort of financial frauds that's happened. Now you are not able to hear the word Sacham at all, isn't it? But he was saved by then government of India. So once the allegations were leveled against him by Americans, immediately he was asked, okay, before they formally proceed legally, he just back to India. And not only came back to India, he himself surrendered before the police in India, of course in Hyderabad. What Rajshekar Reddy was the CM at that point of time. Officially surrendered. That's it. He was put in our Challapalli jail and Chandragutta here itself. Cool, right? Process on and on and on. one and a half year is in jail here. Then later got the bail. That extradition process continued and continued. Then at one point of time, right, some sort of maybe compromises, negotiation, or whatever the commitments honored and everything. Nobody is talking about that scam. Nobody is talking about things. So if at all the Indian government wants, right, for that anything else, legally what they will do is one thing, and extending help is another form. So we have to wait and see that, okay, what is going to happen. But these are the legal issues which you have to keep in mind. Any scam, this you can apply to any scams that happen and connecting 2 or 3 countries. And when all this another criminal activity, the criminal court itself, okay, at least US here only indicted Adani group, but here in this International Criminal Court, okay, ICC had issued the arrest warrants directly against the PM of Israel, Netanyahu, right? International Criminal Court arrest warrant. Who will go and arrest now? Do this International Criminal Court have the police, or for that matter, the Interpol, International Police? Again, nothing, right? The local, that country only has to arrest and hand over wherever he is or she is. Once arrest warrant issued. Okay. So why is the reason is very clear. For the crimes they committed against humanity and war crimes, these are. So the crimes committed, humanity in general, that too when the war. So war, when it's taking place, you have to adhere some rules of the game. Right? In every game you have the rules. Same thing is you have the war games. So war rules, regulations. You have to adhere to. And see that the innocent people will not suffer. That's a very crucial thing. Here what's happened when, right, Hamas intruded into Israel, when they are having, right, some sort of a party, entertainment, and killed the innocent Israelis and innumerable injured, the thousands in a way, okay, 2 to 7,000 either died or injured. Then Israelis wanted to take revenge against the Hamas. That's how the Israel Palestine recent, right, Hamas war started. And not only Hamas killed few, and but also taken few as the captives. Okay, they abducted few and kidnapped them and taken to them, and they are under the capture, and they have not released them. So Israel won't first release them. They are not released. So what to do? Finally, for the state, war is the solution. So they put the missiles. Where that missiles? Wherever those Hamas are there. Where are they? They are in bunkers. Above what? The civilian structures. Even hospitals are there. One child, okay, children's hospital. Below the children's hospital, there have these hideouts. So no option. So once from long distance you are delivering the missile, missiles knows no humanity, right? Wherever it is, it will be dropped. Whether it is a terrorist or a child, it's not aware. So innumerable children were there. There's one major issue. Then they cornered all the routes that entry. That is what they blocked, all the entry routes to Gaza. So once entry routes blocked, all exports, imports stopped. Even the supply necessity supplies, right, get stopped. Even UN aid, they're not able to provide it. So even the few people died with hunger. Part is concerned. So that sort of thing they called, right, when the people died with an hunger, not able to getting, they're not able to lead a secure life. All this we called crimes against humanity. When the war related, right, drop the bombs, even innocent people get killed or injured, nothing to do with them, you call the war crimes. So on this reason, he was issued arrest warrants. Let us see how it be. But here, when the war crimes, there's ICC said the war crime of starvation as a method of warfare. The first time, right, they made it and it's blocked everything as such. So here in this International Criminal Court, what is the International Criminal Court? First of all, is it the same as ICJ, International Court of Justice? Right? ICJ, ICC, same or different? Before we proceed, both are different, entirely different. So remembered here, when ICJ, this is International Court of Justice, it is the UN organ, right? How many organs are there for UN? 6, right? General Assembly is a legislative organ like our parliament. Security Council, an executive organ like our ministry, cabinet. And ICJ is a judicial organ like our Supreme Court, High Court, right? So if any issue arises among the member countries, they can file a case. How many countries in UN? Huh? 195? 3. Sure? So 193 countries. So if any dispute arises among them on whatever be reason, then one country file a case against another. You and me can't go. It will not look into individuals, only country to country. Maybe individual issue. Okay. For example, India filed a case against Pakistan few years back in ICJ, and that judgment came in favor of India. What is that? When Pakistan arrested one of the Indian on the pretext that he belonged to Ra, doing spy, okay, and sentenced him to death. Have you remembered? Long back it is. Hmm? Very much in the news in a way. Okay. Anyhow, later we'll discuss with the UN other part. So continue. And the decisions of ICJ, is it binding on member countries? It is up to them to follow, not to follow. Right? Recently, International Court of Justice delivered in favor of Israel, the Ukraine, vis-a-vis against Russia. It never adhered to. Okay. So it's up to the member countries to follow or not to follow. They are not binding. But in 90% of the cases, they'll follow. But in this case, India, Pakistan adhered the ICJ judgments. So, how many judges in the ICJ, by the way? International Court of Justice? There are 15 judges, 1 5. They are nominated or elected or appointed, like our huh? Supreme Court, our judges are appointed. Right? Whereas here, these are elected. Okay. These are elected. By whom? By General Assembly and Security Council together. Elect them for a period of 9 years. Okay. Generally, retired judges, chief justice of the different countries, they are the members here. And right now, one of Indian judge is there. Who? Last one contest we discussed that also in our current affairs. Mr. Bandari is presently in ICJ. Who is the first Indian become judge in ICJ? Nagendra Singh. Okay, the few things advisable, so we don't know what will recollect in a way. So here, these judgments only member countries will go, no doubt. You and me can't. ICJ will not look into individual issues. Okay, only countries issues, and they are not binding. Okay, so these are all the issues are there. But when it come to the ICC, it's a different. It is no again like this intergovernmental organization. It is something like a tribunal. Okay, and this seat is also the same, The Hague, where ICJ is also there. But when you say that that came into force, right? The UN organ is not an organ. It was separately created by a statute, the Rome Statute. That's what we call in 1998, but came into force from 2002. The main purpose of this is to prosecute individuals for the international crimes, okay, not of national, the international crimes of genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes, as well as the crime of aggression, that is initiated the war. For example, Russia initiated war against Ukraine. That's what an aggression. Not Ukraine attacked, right? Russia attacked anyway. So that's what we called as an aggression, and created by this Rome Statute 1998 and established from 2002. So it took 4 years for this. So it is the first as well as only permanent international court with this jurisdiction. These things ICJ is not having it. Okay, so ICJ is entirely different in look in a way it is concerned. So if you make it up, this ICC, the criminal court, handle the when you say this, the country where offense was committed is party to. It should be a party. That is now 123. Some statistics mention 124. I'm subject to correction that. Only those countries should be the party. Otherwise, it can't. Like UN members now ICJ go. The same thing, they should be the party. And the perpetrator's country of origin is a party of this Rome Statute. That means the party of it. It only exercises jurisdiction if the national court is unable or unwilling to do so. Actually, these crimes has to be taken care by concerned court, concerned country's court. But they're not able or not willing. Okay, either they don't have the ability or willingness, then only they will take up. Okay, what it means? It will act as a supplement. Okay, add on, not of above. Okay, if you are unable to, we will take care. If the lower national court is able to take up, let it be so. Okay, like this issues will be there. Then of course 123, that's what I'm saying. Some they're mentioning 124. So check it once again. The notable exceptions in this, some countries are not. For example, India is not a member of it. Russia is not a member. China is not a member. US is not a member. Is it Israel a member? It issued now against Prime Minister of Israel. Is it Israel a member? Again, the rule says, right, only to the member countries only they can. So then you can understand very clearly it can be so. Okay, you have to do that. So if even ICC issued against Putin also. Okay, same thing. One more also. Whom at the time that country president came to India, then everybody will whether India will arrest and hand it over. Anyhow, ICC India is not a member. If Putin comes to India or Netanyahu come to India, we are not binding on that. Okay, as we are not members of it. But other countries, when whoever be the member country, if that person goes there, it has to be. Even Putin related, if one country he thought of visiting for some meet, right? This BRICS meets or UN meet something, okay? Then he cancelled his visit. At the last minute, he cancelled the visit. Why should to take the risk? Okay, that sort of scenario. But came to India because India is not an ICC related, so we don't have an issue. So that is an essential. So ICC is different from ICJ. One aspect you have to keep in mind, and India is not a member of it. And on its own, they don't have any force. Okay, again they have to take the help of the concerned countries only. Then only they will start investigating. At least some sort of a judicial system is existing. That's what they wanted to make it up. Then, so when this sort of issues are going on, when the Putin again, the Russia is in the news. What for? Now this time for altering this. The war is still on. Russia-Ukraine war. 1,000 days passed away. It looks like now a third world war. And recently the France declared already third world war started. Okay. Social media all the way it is concerned. So we don't know whether it is going to take turn or not. But now that Trump is on the way, right, to take over the presidency, what sort of stand America will take based on this, whether war or no war will be. Russia is ready now, supported by North Korea. Directly North Korea entered, right? It sent its forces. China is already at back. So Russia is garnering its supports. And Ukraine was supported by NATO countries. The issue is here. So in this scenario, the Putin altered his nuclear doctrine. Any country, right, with the nuclear powers, what are the countries? Nuclear weapon states, NWS. Which are the countries are called as NWS? Nuclear weapon states. How many countries are called? All those P5 countries. They're called as nuclear weapon states. Okay? Only 5. Okay? America, Britain, China, France, and Russia. ABC of our families. ABC for you. So they thought none other country should have nuclear weapons. So an NPT was signed. Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Other than the 5, none in the world should have. Isn't it? But still, the countries like India, Pakistan at one hand, then Israel, Iran, North Korea on the other hand, thinking about the possibility. They are officially declared, yes, we have. But these countries officially not declared. But projecting they have. The thing is concerned. So the rules of the game is that whoever nuclear country, they have the doctrine. None should be an aggressor. That's supposed to be. But if other is a nuclear country, what to do? Who will first drop the bomb? Can first use or no first use will be arise the issue. And once you have nuclear weapon, that will act as a deterrent. That is, no other country dared enough to attack it. But if attacks in any form, definitely we will use immediately. So the policy is very much against the nuclear state only, not of non-nuclear state. If that country is not having nuclear bomb, they will not attack with nuclear. If nuclear, they will attack. That's a general policy. Even Russia hitherto agreed. Now what's happened in the war scenario? The Ukraine got the weapons because I think everybody thought within 1-2 weeks war will be over. Maximum 10 days. Now 1,000 days over. Nothing happened, right? Ukraine is becoming stronger and stronger. Of course, economically it is in doldrums, completely problem, and there's a different issue. But to protect itself, and America and other European countries are trying it their best to support all the NATO. Now, the recently, uh, the U.S. President Joe Biden has authorized this Ukraine to utilize ATACMS, right? They're called attack comes. Attack, ATAC, attack. Okay, this word it is attack. Okay, so Army Tactical Missile System, the full form actually, Army Tactical Missile Systems. This is nothing but a missile, that too a long range missiles. As per American policy, or for that matter, NATO policy, Ukraine can defend itself when somebody comes, but it can't be a launch against the other country. That is, it can't launch against now Russia. Russian territory should not be within. You can, but now it permitted. So it permitted Ukraine to employ these SATCOMs, that is get launched against Russia, Russian territory. It can, because no, once you launch from here, it will goes like this, right? Our what are India's missiles? Our Agni, intercontinental ballistic missile, right? 1500 to 6,000 kilometers. Prithvi, 250 to 500 kilometers. Our BrahMos, the cruising missiles, very powerful, right? Then last week we discussed no our hypersonic, 5 times the speed of sound missiles we have. So unable to detect if that be the case. So now these missiles can be launched by Russia. So accordingly, they launched, here this Bryansk, Ukraine, the first cross-border attack they made. So once the US made or supported by NATO, Ukraine now attacked Russia. Now, hitherto the war happened within Ukraine, right? Here only, right? Everything is the war, entire war here, not at all here. Now, Ukraine started. In the process of defending, it may entered into Russia now. Who is supporting NATO? Especially America and America is a nuclear power. One nuclear power supporting another non-nuclear state against the nuclear power. Now, right now, there's no rule in that. Now, Russia can use nuclear weapons only against nuclear weapon state. As Ukraine is not right now, it can't directly use. It is a war crime, if at all. Now that America involved, America is supporting outrightly, openly, American weapons come in tune with they want changes. So they made this nuclear doctrine revised. Okay, they revised their nuclear doctrine that a conventional attack on Russia by any nation that is supported by nuclear power will be considered a joint attack on his country. Now that America is a nuclear power supporting Ukraine, that means directly nuclear country is attacking another nuclear country. Then we can make use of this. Now Russia legally got it in the way, right? As Ukraine is making the frequent doing this. And the inclusion of Belarus is there. Russia may use nuclear weapons for the conventional attack on itself or Belarus. Belarus itself is an independent country, though once upon a time all Ukraine and Belarus are part of USSR. Why Belarus is outrightly supporting Russia? And again, Belarus is neighbor of Ukraine. So even that, okay, it creates a critical threat to their sovereignty or territorial integrity. Then regarding non-nuclear states, Russia's nuclear deterrent is now also against non-nuclear states that allow their land, water or airspace to be used against Russia. If something else, right, you are using against Russia, your territory include land, airspace, then it can do so. That means in a way, it is ready for war. Okay, legally to take up all the issues. Even against this, no, the other day, Russia said we are ready to launch one of its hypersonic missile. What is that? 10 times, no, recently we put 5 times faster than the sound, Mach 5. And Russia is having 10 times faster than the sound. So, Orshink. So, this is the hypersonic missile of Russia. 10 times. Okay. It will 10 times the speed of sound. Okay. It travels 10 times the speed of sound. Then is out of question that anybody can intercept, right? Now we have to see what is going to happen. Okay. Anything may happen at any time. And at the same time, US, along with US, UK also has supplied some things. There's a called the Scalp, the Storm Shadow missiles. The UK and France. Okay, UK is Sharp and France is Storm. Now those can be also used by Ukraine. They also gave the permission to use against Russia. That means UK and France also ready along with America. So now they are teaming up in a way. Like Second World War, Allied forces versus Axis. Now we have to find out, right? Now 3 countries they are ready. Here, 3 countries, I mean 2 are ready in a way. Russia, North Korea. Okay. China is almost all, but outrightly it has not come out. Belarus is very much there. Okay, Russia, Belarus, North Korea. Right now, okay, three countries. They are the three countries. So we have to wait and see how the twists and turns are taking place. At this juncture, quick recollection of India's nuclear doctrine, because India is also a nuclear power, but we are using for peaceful purposes. When India conducted first nuclear test, hmm? 1974. Where? Pokhran, Rajasthan. Second test, which year? 98. Where? Same thing. Smiling Buddha, Buddha smiled again, right? All the way it is concerned. Whom we called the father of missiles? Abdul Kalam. So, from where missiles were launched in India? Same Abdul Kalam Island, previously called as, previous name of Abdul Kalam Island, Wheeler Island. That is near to which state? Odisha. Odisha. Now is the Odisha, right? Odisha coast. Chandipur district of Odisha. Balasur range. All this will come over. So here, when India is not signed NPT, which happened in 1968, 1970, NPT came into force. We considered that as discriminatory. Okay. And our fears get realized in 1971 when India Pakistani war regarding Bangladesh. America came in support of Pakistan. A nuclear state came in support against non nuclear. Right? Then immediately we entered into a treaty of peace and friendship with Russia. Then another nuclear power entered or rescued, we can say, India at that point of time. So where the Bangladesh is able to get liberated. Okay, it's not just, no doubt it's because of India, and India is able to do because of Russia, and Russia entered because of America. Isn't it? All linkages are there. So in the warfare arises. But it so happened at that time when Russia came in support, when right, the scenario in 71 war, when America sent its seventh fleet from Digo Garcia. Digo Garcia is an island near to India, right, in an Indian Ocean, where the naval base is there. Okay. Then once we entered into agreement with Russia, Russia sent its Gorbachev. Okay, it's warfare. Okay, at the time, not Gorbachev, Khrushchev. Okay, it's named after the American Russian president, Khrushchev. So that war ships behind it, knowing that the seventh fleet took the U-turn and gone back. No direct face-to-face between US and Russian ships. So simply America withdrew. It don't want a war-like scenario. Now we have to wait and see how the scenario. But that forced India to go for nuclear. Then again we got the help, a technical help from Russia, and finally able to explore. But we consider it as a peaceful purpose, not for making bombs. That means you may use for power generation, you may use for treatment like cancer, etc. Okay, that can be used, but still as a deterrent, credible minimum deterrent we call, we'll have few bombs and we'll stop that. And we allowed IAEA inspection. What is IAEA? International Atomic Energy Agency. International Atomic Energy Agency, which is a regulatory body of entire part is concerned. So they can inspect our nuclear sites and everything. We allowed that in one. But we don't want to sign NPT. Even we have now signed CTPT, Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty. Okay, we don't want. So America and others always wanted to tie it in one form or another. But we declared very clearly our nuclear doctrine. We said our first part is no first use. we will not use first. Okay, there's a first and foremost thing. And why we are having is for credible minimum deterrence. So other countries should think twice or thrice on this one. But in case of massive retaliation, India will retaliate with nuclear. Okay, in the event of nuclear attack, then only we will use. When it relates to civilian control, it is under, in India it is under civilian, not under military. So the president, the prime minister, right? These will be civilians. Is not of army chief, naval chief, air chief, or we have the combined defense staff (CDS). It is not under their control. It is under civilian leadership. And non-use against non-nuclear states. Come what may, we will not at all use. Even this no first use is against the weapon states. If non-nuclear, for example, Bangladesh is non-nuclear, Nepal is non-nuclear, okay, our neighbors, Sri Lanka is non-nuclear, okay, you can't use against them if at all we are at war with that. Against Pakistan being a nuclear, we can. China is nuclear, we can. Okay, so this sort of scenario. Now Russia revised policy is what you are not supposed to. Russia policy also same thing. But here now revised policy is what? Even if nuclear states supporting non-nuclear, we will use it. And as this scenario not happened in India so far, we have not addressed that issue. Okay, maybe next revised, okay, edition may come up keeping this scenario. So what to do on the world? So this is what India's nuclear doctrine and revised in 2003, the part. So that you have to keep in mind. Any doubt? Then quick glance at a few other aspects. I think it's time it up. Recently, the G20 summit concluded. So the one important aspect which you have to consider is, in this, the Brazil initiated a new alliance. It's a global alliance against hunger and poverty. Okay, and right now 81 countries endorse this along with India, and few more organizations and financial institutions came forward because finally they feel that you need to address the hunger, so the poverty, isn't it? And especially few African states, especially where the civil war is on, okay, the people are dying of starvation. Just now we said, is the Gaza, the area. So come what may, you have to provide the minimum food for them for survival. No person shall die of starvation. So that step you have to take it up forever and continuous. The needy should get, like India, we have public distribution system, and it was very much came into rescue during the COVID, right? Even the, right, because you are every day you have to work and earn. When there is, you can't work, no earning, then how to lead is a big question mark. So like the scenario, they are ready to cope up, and as that demanded international cooperation, now they came up with this global alliance against poverty and hunger. So simply they use the word the alliance, okay, and the purpose of this. There's a one major thing, and the new things that you have to be. And of course, at FAO, it will add office, no, Food and Agriculture Organization is a specialized agency of UN. So it will act in cooperation with that, and 2.3 millions annually the funds they'll try to contribute for these countries. So either FAO, UNICEF is children's fund, right? Or through the World Bank, they'll try. World Bank means loans, in the form of loans the countries will get. So this is one aspect, the crucial of G20 you have to keep in mind. And regarding COP29, the Conference of Party 29 is too concluded, and were finally, but one of the crucial initiative the UAE launched is Energy Efficiency Alliance. This is another alliance, no doubt, but this is the energy efficiency, okay, related alliance. So promoting solar, wind, and other non-conventional sources, renewable source of energy is the target for this purpose. So they want to double the global energy efficiency rates by 2030 and contribute significant elections. So this is on UAE consequences. Okay, from this part is concerned. So right now the UAE will lead this issues. There's a new thing happened, so that you have to take care. Then of course Armenia officially become the 104th member of this International Solar Alliance. Okay, that itself was created with the initiative of India and France, International Solar Alliance. Now, with this help, we can go further and further. So there's an interlink is going to happen between these two. Then one more international part. Now this 2025 UN declared as an international year of cooperatives, because the cooperative societies, even the India, we have separate Ministry of Cooperation at a central level. Who is the Minister for Cooperatives at central level? Hmm? Amit Shah. Home Minister himself is presiding over this Ministry of Cooperatives and trying to give a more support. Is that word cooperatives anywhere in the Constitution of India? Where? DPSP or fundamental right? Don't give me the multiple choice for me. నాకే చాయిస్ వస్తుంది దేంట్లో ఉంది. Good. It's in fundamental rights only. Where? Article 19. Your six freedoms, no? Freedom to form associations, including cooperative societies. That word was added later. Okay, for the parties. So we wanted to give more Philip for these cooperatives as such. Okay. So that global conference is going to be held in New Delhi itself. After 130 years, okay, this ICA is holding its meeting in India. So you may just have this international cooperative principles and what it is. Cooperatives, okay, just keep in mind, because this cooperative always based on voluntary and open membership, and contribution from membership will be there. Then the government will add something to it, and you will go ahead on this one. Then one more thing, this we discussed already. Now it become operational. Okay, it opened now. So Chennai to Vladimir. That means the India connect to Russia. India Russia connect now via this route. Previously, from this side we have to go. So you are saving almost all uh, the distance of this is 10,300 kilometers. 16 days time you are saving. 40% of distance you are saving by this route. So previously between Mumbai and St. Petersburg via Suez Canal, previous it is. It takes around 40 days at that time and 16,000. Now it is only 10,000 kilometers. So the time saver, fuel saver, and no Suez Canal problem, no entry, direct we have to. If at all practical problem we will get from where? It is passing through South China Sea. Of course, free navigation is there. Okay. but at the same time, South China Sea issues. So the reason why India is concerned to address this issues part. Anyhow, Russia is there, right? So we don't have much issue on this. Okay, so that become operational. You have to take care on this. And other routes, try to recollect: India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor, as well as INSTC. These are also in the news. So whenever in the examination, this sort of can try to recollect others. Okay. So India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor announced in the G20 meet in Delhi, right? 2023 only. That is connecting from where to where? It says integration of Asia, Europe, Middle East. From where to where? From where India it will start, where it will end. Hmm? Forgotten. That means not revising. Hmm? So address advisable to revise and do the things is concerned. International North-South Transport Corridor is there. Okay, from this thing is concerned. So they are the very, of course, Chinese corridors are separate, but where India involved in this. So for mains point of view, remember it will try to address Chinese dominance as well as boost India's activist and forest policies, right? And one aspect is that the sector handles 95% of volume and 70% values of trade in that route. Then we can understand how much the significance for this part. Okay. Then one more new organization that came up in the news, though is not the new, is the old, but as Indian Prime Minister attended, advisable to recommend CARICOM India Summit. Always we have heard Asian Indian Summit, APEC India Summit like this. Now CARICOM India Summit. So once the Prime Minister visited the Guyana on the way to G20 Summit in Brazil, he attended. So just recollect this Caribbean community, CRI, Caribbean community. Okay, it's consisting of 21 countries, 15 plus 6, 15 members and 6 associates. Way back 1973, it was formed among. Now India wanted to go through, so advisable to have this relationship. Then one more APEC meet was held. 31st APEC, Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation, is a Chinese-led economic group. Actually, against this only, America initiated TPP, Trans-Pacific Partnership. So an economic Cold War scenario at that time. But anyhow, Trump withdraw that TPP, but still Japan and other 11 countries going ahead. Then Joe Biden showed interest, but now again Trump came. So we have to find out the fate of that TPP now. Whether Russia, what you call American involvement, though is American-led group, now Japan is leading that. They use the word comprehensive partnership issue. Is it India is a member of APEC? Asia Pacific. Pacific, no, the word Pacific is there. All the littoral countries of Pacific Ocean. Is it India who having Pacific Ocean as a border? No. So logically, you may say it's not. Okay, like BIMSTEC, Bay of Bengal. Which are the countries on the littoral countries? IOC, Indian Ocean, littoral countries of IOC. Like this, we have the APEC, Pacific Ocean related. So India is not a member of it. The 21 countries are there. Though India is a dialogue partner there, okay, a strategic and dialogue partner. Then one more quick recollection. Actually, last week we thought of, we missed this. Then Haka arised this. What is this Haka? Is a ceremonial, okay, who's talked, right? A dance she played, right? She's the parliamentarian of New Zealand. Okay, she was suspended following the protest by indigenous Maori. Okay, the whenever you use the word no indigenous, that implies the tribals, so they have their own. So there's a bill for which she is protesting. So in the protests that form happen in this way. Okay, so what is this Maori tribe? So if the question arises, Maori tribe reside where and what the origins, is all geography, right? And why they are asking is because of this. This is what the current affairs link you need to understand. Okay, like in India also now, the cookies versus Meithis. Which state? Manipur. Then again Nagas. Okay, Nagalam, they are coming up. How many states includes this Nagalam, Nagas? Is it Nagas are supporting cookies or Meithis in Manipur? All these issues, right, has to be taken care. Okay, so like this Maori, they are indigenous Polynesian people of mainland of New Zealand. They are the second largest group in thing. Even you have in Australia also, they are the people living over there. So after this Treaty of Waitangi, 1840, Maoris and Europeans, they are coexisting there. So tribals and non-tribals living together in our language, like cookies and Meithis. Why I use this word is Meithis, they are non-tribals, now want to be tribals, right? They wanted to gain the status of tribals related. But anyhow, they are non-tribals as per law here. Then similar way, the Europeans there, and so some special rights whenever you assign, like India, we has given innumerable protections for those Indian people. New Zealand is also there. Now they want to do away with certain protections that was extended for them, and for which the protest is on for that. So there's a thing which you have to keep in mind and go through that about the Haka and about this bill. Okay, advisable to go through once. Then one more thing is in Bhutan related is coming up. Bhutan is a happiest city. So Himalayan Kingdom brought this world, right? They're coming up Gelfu mindful city. So you have to live peace and tranquility. There's two words you deserve. Okay, Shanti Prashanti and okay, అంటే ఇద్దరు పేర్లు కాదు కదా అది. ఓకే, సో మనశ్శాంతిగా ఉండాలి, ప్రశాంతంగా ఉండాలి అన్నప్పుడు, సో హౌ బెస్ట్ యూ కెన్ అచీవ్ the maximum peacefulness, no disturbance, nothing. So some sort of meditation. So now that is going all further to the happiest city. So especially they selected Gelufu area. There they are doing this project. So about 2500 square kilometers they allotted near to the border of India. So they offer space to business in finance, tourism, green energy, technology, healthcare, and everything. And it will promote walking and cycling to reduce these emissions in that area. So green spaces for meditation and relaxation, all these things. Okay, for this purpose, all healthcare, ecotourism, they called it. So ఇక్కడ మనశ్శాంతి లేకపోతే అక్కడికి వెళ్తే అయిపోతుంది అనమాట. Okay, so when there is no shanti here, prashanti you will get. Then you one more thing, in America now the president is about to be, a good governance is very important. So minimum government, maximum governance is India's concept. Same thing they are implementing with DOGE. So Department of Government Efficiency. So just to go through this, I'm sure that okay in the ethics the way they use the word the governance related, it will be helpful in all the way part is concerned. Then one more thing is two-child rule in the local body elections. Now Chandrababu Naidu wanted to do away. and Andhra related very much important. And we recollected recently Chandrababu Naidu's statement that have more children. In tune with this is taking the steps, not just saying and doing things done. So rule is that because to promote family planning, at that time they feel that is essential, but after a few years we realized the population no doubt increasing, but here the increase of population of aged people and decrease of population of youth. When the marriage age, right, previously around 20s it will be, now it is around 30s. Okay, this gap is there. So previously by 60 70, after that the very few people used to survive. Now 80s 90s become new normal. So aged people becoming more, the youngsters becoming less. A demographic dividend may take a different turn in future if you don't take steps now. That's what the Chinese right now facing. So they have done away with, last year itself they have done away with the one child norm. Previously no, only one child norm. They had done away with one child, came up with the two child. Even they had done away with the two child in Chinese now. Now no issue. The same thing, and especially southern states are very much concerned on this issue. So not only now the part is concerned, other states also rolled back. For example, uh, though some states introduced, 13 states and UTs adopted this policy. And what are the states recently rolled back? Introduced Maharashtra, Gujarat in this. Yeah, 13 states that adopted the policy. Yeah, here it is. Chhattisgarh, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, and Madhya Pradesh, they rolled back already in 2005 itself. Initially, they adopted, later realized, so early realization for them, right? So we are almost all 20 years backward, right, with them, and they realize that no, it is so. As the sex ratio is worsening in this case is concerned, then apart from this, the political problems like once your delimitation is going on regarding the constituencies based on the population, some states may lose their own political clout. Okay, those who are not following, they may have more. And funds also, no, on population basis, when the finance commission allot funds, there also you are facing problem of the central funding. So all issues are there apart from the issue. So finally the AP government has taken this stand. So we have to find out what Telangana will do. Telangana unda endaki is there, I think is there. Then one more thing, the new CAG we have, Comptroller and Auditor General. Who now? Sanjay Murthy. Which article? 148 provides for this. How many years will be appointed for the term of Comptroller Auditor General? That's it. 6 years or 65 years of age, whichever comes earlier, not later. Okay, no fixed term of 6 years. Age factor, because the Comptroller General enjoys facilities, salaries same as Judge of the Supreme Court, whom we called, what we called him, the guardian of the public purse, right? Audits all the accounts of the government and everything, right? Then Samantha in the news, but this Samantha is different. Samantha Harvey wins this Booker Prize 2024, and most of the exams you will find this question. Other awards may or may not be much on this, for her space novel Orbital. Okay, for 2024 novel. So she was the first woman since 2019. So after receiving this, so previously we have this award in a way. So that's all for today. Any doubts, clarifications? That's it. Right. Thank you very much. See you.